Hello everyone, it's me Clayton. I just finished watching Spiral, starring Chris Rock and Samuel L. Jackson, and it's the ninth film in the Saw franchise. Though the first one to not have John Kramer, aka Tobin Bell, as a featured actor, though he does have a picture cameo. So this film happens to be a idea for a Saw film that came from Chris Rock himself. Since he also happens to be an executive producer. And I can definitely say it is a really cool idea to mix the Saw franchise with more modern and timely themes, though the film does kind of suffer in a similar respect as other Saw films, such as Saws 3 and 4, which should be no real surprise considering the director of Saws 2, 3, and 4 is the one who directed this one. Let's get to the story, shall we? The story follows Zeke Banks, played by Chris Rock, who is seemingly one of the only good cops in a police force full of corrupt scum. So when seemingly a jigsaw style copycat killer goes around and he ends up putting the cops of Metro City into his very dangerous game, Banks has to figure out who's the culprit and find out how this connects to not only him, but also his father, who used to be the chief of police. But that's all I'll say about the story without spoiling anything. When it comes to a Saw film, there are three things that I usually look forward to: the traps, the emotional impact of the film, and the twist. When it comes to the traps in this film, they definitely happen to go back to the classic one person in a sticky situation kind of traps that I have always loved from the Saw movies, especially back in the first one, where the traps are a lot more personal. They happen to involve a lot more intimate close-ups, and where they deliver on the gore aspect without having that just be the star of the franchise. What, granted, the first film happened to not exactly have as much gore as you'd imagine due to the lower budget, but this one definitely has a higher budget to look like a film in modern, a professionally made film in the modern day, but it happens to use its gore liberally without having it be the main star of the film. And I do like how every single one of the traps is personalized in true Jigsaw fashion. Now, when it comes to the actual story of the film, it does happen to get a little predictable if you've seen a lot of cop films that are very much like it. I get where Chris Rock was trying to go here, but the 93-minute runtime, along with the script that's given, does come across as one that does have a fair amount of cliches, even by Saw movie standards. But thankfully, there aren't any characters that we're supposed to root for that I end up hating. I do like Zeke Banks. He's a really good protagonist. And even though he's not with Samuel L. Jackson for too many scenes of the film, I do think he works well off Samuel L. Jackson, and of course, Jackson himself is always fun, no matter what movie he's in. And when it comes to the twist, without revealing it, I will say the twist is genuinely set up pretty well, but I do wonder how people are going to react when it comes to how the twist is done and who the twist involves. Though, given Jigsaw's propensity to have several antagonists in the series that aren't just John Kramer, I'm sure it fits in their minds. So, honestly, the film is definitely worth it for Saw fans. I genuinely liked it more than Jigsaw, but I still think that Saw 2 is my favorite in the Saw series. So that's why I'm going to give this a 7.5 out of 10. See you next time.